Hola a todos. Hoy vamos a ver cómo expresar obligaciones y sugerencias en español. Today we are going to see how to express obligations and suggestions in Spanish. There are three main ways to do this using the Spanish verbs tener que, deber, and hay que. Tener que translates to have to in English. Deber translates to must in English. And hay que translates to one has to in English. As always, it is vital to be clear on how to conjugate your verbs for all of the persons. Yo, tú, usted, él, ella, nosotros, vosotros, ustedes, and ellos or ellas. I will show you exactly how to do this for these Spanish verbs of obligation and give you some example sentences to illustrate how each verb is used. So let's get started by looking at the Spanish verb tener que. If you want to say I have to, you'll say yo tengo que, or only tengo que. So if you want to say I have to study, you'll say tengo que estudiar. If you want to say you have to in a friendly way to one person, you'll say tú tienes que. Or you can only say tienes que. So if you want to say, for example, you have to work more, in Spanish you'll say tienes que trabajar más. If you want to say you have to in a formal way to one person, you'll say usted tiene que. Or you can say just tiene que. So if you want to say the same thing, you have to work more, but in a formal way, then you'll say tiene que trabajar más. If you want to say he has to, you'll say él tiene que. And she has to, you'll say ella tiene que. For either of them, you can say only tiene que. So if you want to say Marta has to go to Madrid, then you'll say Marta tiene que ir a Madrid. And we have to in Spanish is nosotros tenemos que, or only tenemos que. So if you want to say we have to talk, in Spanish you'll say tenemos que hablar. If you want to say you have to a group of people in a friendly way, you'll say vosotros tenéis que, or only tenéis que. So if you want to say you have to eat fish to a group of people in a friendly way, you'll say in Spanish tenéis que comer pescado. And you have to a group of people, but in a formal way, in Spanish is ustedes tienen que, or only tienen que. So if you want to say the same sentence, you have to eat fish to a group of people, but in a formal way, then you'll say tienen que comer pescado. And they have to, in Spanish is ellos tienen que, or only tienen que. So if you want to say Marcos and Pablo have to visit their parents, in Spanish you'll say Marco y Pablo tienen que visitar a sus padres. Let's see now the second verb, deber, which in English is must. So if you want to say I must, in Spanish is yo debo, or only debo. So if you want to say I must study, in Spanish you'll say debo estudiar. If you want to say you must to one person in a friendly way, in Spanish is tú debes or only debes. So if you want to say you must work more to one person in a friendly way, you'll say debes trabajar más. And you must to one person in a formal way is usted debe, or you can only say debe. So if you want to say you must work more to one person in a formal way, this is in Spanish debe trabajar más. He must is él debe, and she must is ella debe. And for both of them you can just say debe. So if you want to say Marta must go to Madrid, in Spanish is Marta debe ir a Madrid. We must is nosotros debemos, or you can say just debemos. So if you want to say we must talk, in Spanish is debemos hablar. You must to a group of people in a friendly way is vosotros debéis, or only debéis. So if you want to say you must eat fish to a group of people in a friendly way, in Spanish you'll say debéis comer pescado. And you must to a group of people in a formal way is ustedes deben, or you can only say deben. So for example, if you want to say you must eat fish to a group of people in a formal way, you'll say deben comer pescado. And they must is ellos deben, or only deben. So if you want to say Marco and Pablo must visit their parents, in Spanish you'll say Marco y Pablo deben visitar a sus padres. Let's see now the third verb, hay que, which is in English one has to. Hay que is a Spanish verb of general obligation, so we will not have to learn how to conjugate it for all the persons. Hay que is used for general statements about things that people, we, one should do, such as one has to recycle or one should say please and thank you. Let's see some more examples. If you want to say one has to recycle, in Spanish you'll say hay que reciclar. One has to eat a bit of everything. In Spanish is hay que comer un poco de todo. One has to drink 8 glasses of water a day. In Spanish is hay que beber 8 vasos de agua al día. One has to brush one's teeth 3 times a day. In Spanish is hay que lavarse los dientes 3 veces al día. One has to be generous. In Spanish is hay que ser generoso. One has to say please and thank you. In Spanish is hay que decir por favor y gracias. We have seen loads of random example sentences here in this lesson to illustrate the use of tener que, deber, and hay que. Now it is down to you to make up your own practice sentences to revise what you have learned here and to make sure that you are 100% clear and confident on conjugating the verbs for all of the different persons. I hope that you are getting steadily more and more confident with your Spanish and enjoying the process of learning a foreign language. We are up to lesson 32 in this beginner course, so I think you deserve a very well-earned pat on the back from me. Remember, it takes time and dedication to learn any foreign language, and sometimes it can feel like a bit of a struggle, but the rewards are definitely worth the effort. So keep up the good work and see you next time with another Spanish video lesson. Hasta la próxima!